talking about his vision to play every single conference game at Madison Square Garden because he's going to build a program that needs a bigger arena. He's got his eyes on the prize here, Matt. What are your first impressions of Rick Pitino's entrance to St. John's?
You know, it's like everyone was talking about Pitino to Georgetown, Pitino to St. John's, Pitino to other places. Where is he going? Texas Tech, this, that. It's like if he went anywhere else other than St. John's, it's not nearly as entertaining, right? Like the Garden's going to be rocking, and it's going to be back. And the fact that he's there and you know they're going to be competitive. And I just loved everything he did in his press conference today, too. Like, he named Joel Soriano captain right when he got up on stage.
Because he's trying to keep him.
Like, that's exactly right. I understand. It was a smart move. I know why he did it. I know exactly why he did it. That was the smartest thing he did. Like, he's our captain. Let's go. Man, it's going to be, you know, you look at the coaches now in the Big East, like, you know, and we're still waiting to see what happens at Providence. But, like, you're talking about, you know, Sean Miller, Rick Pitino, Ed Cooley, Danny Hurley. Like, I mean,
Shaka.
Like, come on. Like, I mean, this league is a gauntlet of coaches and really good coaches. And it just got better. It got better today. And his press conference was unbelievable. And it's going to be entertaining. Like, you're going to want to turn on the TV and watch St. John's hoops. And that's no knock on Mike Anderson. Have great respect for him. But, man, like, it's back. I mean, it's back. And he made a splash in the press conference, and he wants all the games in the Garden. And why would he not? Every single home game should be in Madison Square Garden like it used to be. It's going to be fun to watch. There's no question about it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play college basketball pick'em, where you can get a little extra sweat during March Madness and win real cash prizes simply by picking player stats in this weekend's games. In pick'em, all you do is predict whether a player will go higher or lower on Underdog's projected totals, whether that's points, rebounds, whatever. For example, if you're like me and you think Zach Edey is going to go nuts in this tournament, pick higher on his points projection, add up to 4 more picks, and if you hit them all, you can win 20 times your money on a single game. Underdog's slick mobile app is easy enough that dummies like Jeff Goodman have even figured it out. So go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app and use the code FIELD, FIELD, and Underdog will match your deposit up to $100. Now is the time to get in on the madness. So remember, underdogfantasy.com, promo code FIELD.
You know, we often talk about fits for a job, and that job just fits him. It always has. It's just New York. I mean, he's been there from the Knicks and Iona, and it just fits. I mean, so you're excited about it, and he got dudes there now. You know, for him to get Soriano to stay, I mean, it's not like he's getting into a job and he's got to, like, man, I got to go out and find a bunch of dudes. I mean, the first step for him is just keeping what he has, keeping some of the guys that he has that he can keep, and that's a big piece.
RC, how about he even took a shot at Aaron Rodgers? He doesn't know if Aaron Rodgers is
ready for New York. Not even official yet.
New York media.
But you know what? He might know. He might know.
He's like, listen, the New York
tossed that grenade out there.
The coach of the Knicks. Like, I hope Aaron Rodgers is ready to come to New York and deal with the New York media. I thought it was brilliant. Unbelievable.
He was right in there keeping some guys. He was also right in there essentially saying, like, hey, you know, I got the scouting report on some of these guys. Some of these guys aren't the most coachable guys. They're not going to be here. Like, make no mistake about it. He's got a vision for this team.
No, he's already known. He knows who he has. He knows who's out of there. You know, you're going to fit in his way, and he's comfortable coaching guys. I mean, of any attitudes or anything else, it's going to be a certain style. You fit his style of play. You're going to press. You're going to guard. I mean, I thought they were close to, you know, making some noise in the Big East tournament. I thought they gave Marquette all they can handle that first game. But man, the Garden was Johnny's, man. They were all for the Johnnies there.
It's going to be unbelievable. And here's the thing too, ridiculous. And he knows. I mean, Soriano's a high character player. He's a high character kid. What he did, even going back to Fordham. I mean, I coached against him a bunch of times when he was there. he knows that's a guy that's a culture guy that he wants to keep in that program. He's not worried about many other guys. He's like, hey, this is the guy that we need to keep here, and they're going to get players. I mean, he's going to get players. I mean, he's just, there's no question about that, and he knows, hey, this is a guy that we want to keep because he's right for what we're trying to do. And so, I mean, Soriano naming him a captain, that was the right move because he wants to keep him, but he's also a high character kid. I mean, not a kid, he's a grown man now, but it's going to be fun.
So we're obviously buying what Rick Pitino is selling just from a confidence standpoint, a Rick Pitino standpoint, right? None of us are doubting his abilities as a coach. Here's my question to you guys quickly before we move to Ed Cooley. Jeff Goodman came on here and said, doesn't matter who's on this team. St. John's is in my preseason top 25. Do you think the turnaround or the restoration of St. John's is going to happen that quickly for Rick Pitino, or do you think it's going to take a little longer, RC?
I don't know if I'm going to say preseason, but again, we don't know who he's going to get. Guys are going to go play for him. I think the biggest reason why we talk about fit, people are going to want to invest money into the program. So NILs, and people can talk all they want about the facilities now. The one reason you can get by facilities until your facilities come is put money in those kids' pockets. And Rick Pitino is going to be able to do that. You come here, he's going to be able to make phone calls and draw interest in that program that's going to get guys money to say, I'm going to go play for New York. And there's a lot of ball players out there. I mean, you're talking about, like Marquise Noel, Tomlin. I looked at the entire, and I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
3 significant players for Kansas State or New Yorkers. You'd be surprised at how many players from New York go everywhere else to go play. There's a lot of ball players out of New York, and I think if he can get his fair share of them just to stay and play for St. John, then look out.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to get Marquise Noel versus Tyson Walker at the Garden in the Sweet 16 here.
Come on,
New
man.
York guys. There's no shortage of guys Rick Pitino can pull from. All right, let's move.
Don't sleep on Nick Boyd. Nick Boyd's from New York too now.
Max, absolutely.
Nick Boyd's from New York, FAU. Andy Katz, he had FAU as the 16th team in the Sweet 16, and I could not disagree with Andy Katz more on that take. So maybe we get into that a little later.